What are the four types of soil that Jesus used to illustrate those who heard the Word of God? One, roadside soil. When they hear, Satan immediately comes and takes away the Word. 2, rocky soil. When they hear the Word, receive it with joy. But these have no root. They believe for a while, and in time of temptation fall away. 3, thorny soil. This is he who hears the Word, but the cares of the world and the delight in riches choke the Word, and it proves unfruitful. 4, good soil. They are the ones who hear the Word and accept it, and bear fruit, 30-fold, and 60-fold, and 100-fold.
Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up.
Our professor, Dr. Ward Williams.
Now we come, after all, to a fourth type. Those that were sown upon the good soil are the ones who hear the Word of God and accept it. And even here we have a division into three levels. Not all Christians are equally fruitful. Some produce 30-fold, some produce 60-fold, some produce 100-fold. Now, in a time when 93% of the population of the United States are town or city dwellers, sometimes rural illustrations are not exactly the ones best understood. But just at least you understand arithmetic, so let's stay with this a moment. Let's divide this field very unevenly. It would never be like this. But let's just make it even. There's 1/4 of the field is going to be roadside. 1/4 of the field is going to be shallow soil, rocky soil. 1/4 of the field is going to be weedy soil, and 1/4 of the field is going to be good soil. So when you have 1/4 of it, that's going to raise any crops. Now, let's say we have 100 acres in the field, and we sow, if you don't happen to understand about the way of farming, but you sow 1 bushel of wheat to the acre. And so we take the 25 acres and we sow 25 bushels of grain on the roadside, and we get nothing back. We've sowed 25, we have 0 return, and we're out 25 bushels. We sow again 1 bushel to the acre. We sow 25 acres of the stony soil. And now we get no return, and so we have now lost 50 bushels. So we take 50 bushels, and we have used this, and we're out 50. We sow now the weedy soil. We've now sown 75 bushels, and we have no return. And some people would be discouraged at this point. But let's take our remaining part. Take our remaining part. Let's divide this into one field of 9 acres and 2 fields of 8 acres apiece. We take 9 acres. We take our smallest field. We sow 9 bushels, and we have 30 bushels return on each one of those acres. 9 times the 30 is 270 bushels. We've now sown 84 bushels of wheat, and we have gotten back, out of counting all this part, we've gotten back now a profit of nearly 200 bushels. But we're not nearly done yet. We sow 8 more bushels. We sow this on 60. Ground that produces 60-fold. And the 8 produces 480 bushels. And we take another 8, and we sow it on that which produces 100 bushels to the acre. And we get 800 bushels. Before we're through then, we have totally sown 100 bushels. We've gotten 800 bushels back from the one. We have gotten 240 bushels back from another, and we've got 640 bushels back from another. We've got a tremendous return, even though 75% of our efforts produced no actual results. Yet we have had a handsome profit. A person who looks at the folks who don't listen and gets discouraged, a preacher looks at the folks who start and then drop out and gets discouraged, the person looks at those who are crowded out by weeds and get discouraged, misses the point. We don't go by the rocky soil. We don't go by the roadside. We don't go by the weedy soil. We go by the productive soil. And this is what keeps a person going, is the fact when you do find the right man, when you do find the right woman, we get a tremendous harvest. And this is why a preacher is encouraged by all the apostasy and all the falling out and all the folks who don't make good. We nevertheless proceed right down the line and do not give up till Jesus comes. Let's go back and pick up a second parable which has some similarity to this other one. And in fact, we'll have to go ahead for it. I'm sorry. This will be the parable of the tares, which is in verse 24. Will you read that?
Another parable he put before them, saying, The kingdom of heaven may be compared to a man who sowed good seed in his field. But while men were sleeping, his enemy came and sowed weeds among the wheat, and went away. So when the plants came up and bore grain, then the weeds appeared also. And the servants of the householder came and said to him, Sir, did you not sow good seed in your field? How then has it weeds? He said to them, An enemy has done this. The servants said to him, Then do you want us to go and gather them? But he said, No, lest in gathering the weeds you root up the wheat along with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. And at harvest time I will tell the reapers, Gather the weeds first, and bind them in bundles to be burned, but gather the wheat into my barn.
Now this parable of the tares is paralleled very much by the next to the last parable out of these 7 in verses 47 and 49 through 50. I'd like to have you read that, and I'll speak about the two together.
Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a net which is thrown into the sea and gathered fish of every kind. When it was full, men drew it ashore and sat down and sorted the good into vessels, but threw away the bad. So it will be at the close of the age. The angels will come out and separate the evil from the righteous and throw them into the furnace of fire. There men will weep and gnash their teeth.